Rants at the Movies, a podcast where we rant about films you may have seen at house parties. I'm one of your hosts and jack of all trades, Mono, and marinating me in motor oil is my co-host and master of none, Kira.
It makes your pee a rainbow.
It what?
It makes your pee a rainbow.
Oh shit, shout out to Dan Cooper, who accidentally drank some motor oil.
And peed a rainbow.
Yes, he did. Fuck. So I'm tempted to go again, but no, fuck that. Dan's a legend. You are a legend, Dan. But as obtuse of a reference as that was, we are discussing Pandorum today.
Yes, not greatly received. Harmish.
No, yeah, we haven't discussed it in a while, but our old clash with critics is back again.
Oh yeah, it's a 6.7.
6.7 on IMDb, but generally
it's
the
a
films,
28 on Metascore.
There it is. Yeah, the films that we like that are trashed by critics are generally around the 6.5 mark on IMDb. But yeah, I got 28 on Metacritic, 30 on Rotten Tomato for the critic score, and 49 for the audience score.
Which is kind of shitty because it was the first in a proposed trilogy. And they probably aren't going to make the rest of it. Yet they still continue to make Cloverfield movies.
And Avatar movies.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah.
I don't know where it would go trilogy-wise. I'd be curious to see, to be honest with you. And there is a kind of like, there's like Facebook groups and stuff that are like, you know, bring back Pandorum and whatnot.
Yeah, no, but it's a really interesting premise, but and
it has some really cool, like,
and I didn't know that. I thought it just, obviously I viewed it as a standalone film and enjoy it as the package in which it is presented. I'm not that buzzed about it being a trilogy.
No, and when it came out, it was back when I was working in the cinema, and one of the girls I was working with went to see it on the lunch break, and she was like, "That's a piece of shit," and I was like, I at the time trusted her opinion in movies, and then watched it a few years later, and I was like, "This is great."
Yeah, I think
you don't know shit.
I think it was another one of the classic Extravision finds of like 5 for 20. And it was like, need to get 5, have 3 good ones, find 2 random ones.
Yeah, I think it was. We was just like, fuck it, I'll give it a shot.
Because in fairness, that's how we got Eden Log, and we picked that up about 8 years ago, and we still haven't watched it.
True, we have a bunch of films like that.
Yeah.
But that was why I avoided...
If it's good, please let us know.
But that was why I avoided Event Horizon initially, was because it got panned by critics when it came out, and I was fucking not old enough to watch it anyway. But when I watched it, I was like, this is deadly. And Pandorum has very much Event Horizon vibes.
Yeah. And the
I was
really
like, I'll give it a shot.
is I keep, every now and again, I'll see Event Horizon pop up on lists of like movies people couldn't finish. And they're like, it was garbage. I was like, what's wrong with you? Do you not see?
They don't. It still gets a lot of hate. But
I don't understand why it gets so much hate.
Fuck those guys, basically.
Yeah. They're people who like Nicholas Sparks movies.
Possibly. But... Yeah, no, I really enjoy this. Really enjoy the concept. Really enjoy some of the like little small bits that we'll get into later. And don't understand why it got trashed so badly at the time.
Probably because it was 2009.
Meaning?
There was a lot of weird shit out in 2009. And sci-fi was not it.
No, so there was a lot of... That was all horror and found footage shit and paranormal activities and
I think that was around the time
hauntings in Connecticut and shit. Yeah, no, I was working in the cinema at that time, and it was all horror films.
But it was all that type of like really like mental found footage shit. Avatar was out. The Lovely Bones.
Yeah, fuck, Avatar was that year.
The Lovely Bones, the most depressing movie I've ever watched in my life.
Was that 2009?
Yeah.
I thought it was earlier.
9, which also got trashed, and I love that film.
9's good fun.
The animated one.
Yeah.
Sergei blah blah blah.
No, it's the guy who directed Day Watch and Night Watch.
Yes, and I love those films.
Timur Berkam.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, Jennifer's Body.
Yes, yeah, it was all...
Oh God, knowing. Ew.
That actually is garbage.
Yeah, and so is Inglourious Bastards, and District 9 was out as well.
Now that was some damn good sci-fi that year.
Yeah, so maybe I think there was a lot of there was a glut of it as opposed to a lot of trash.
Yeah, and well, there wasn't much,
and the likes of District 9 being that it was so allegorical, metaphorical, and all of this. Oh yeah,
this
there was a lot of like intellectual heavy intellectual offerings.
This ain't hard sci-fi or deep, particularly.
It's also the same year as Daybreakers.
As Daybreakers,
yeah.
Future episode of the show, definitely.
Yeah, I love it.
Because we tried to do it already and we had a shitty broken disc.
Yes,
Moon. We live in the past. Get over it.
And Moon.
Oh yes, okay. So a lot of like straight sci-fi and a lot of straight horror, and then this kind of sat in the middle.
And Watchmen.
A previous episode of the show.
Yeah, no, I'm just going through it. Yeah, so there was
there was actually a lot of good stuff in 2009. Amongst it.
And Fast and Furious, which I have no idea which one that one is.
That's the 5th one.
Yeah, The Blind Side, so that was the Oscar bait.
Which?
The Blind Side, Sandra Bullock.
Oh, yeah.
500 Days of Summer, Dead Snow.
Ah, brilliant. You can stop listing films from 2009 now, by the way.
Yeah.
We'll be here quite a while. We still haven't gone for a summary.
No.
So shall we go for a summary?
Yes.
Waking on an unknown ship at an unknown time and place, Corporal Bauer and Lieutenant Peyton must figure out what their mission was, why they were woken out of sequence, and what's happened to the ship and her passengers. But they quickly discover that despite the absence of any other crew, they are far from alone. Dun dun dun!
Yeah, Q scratching in the walls.
Q hissing from afar in glowy blue lights.
Yeah.
What powers those blowtorches? Not to immediately start shitting on the movie that I've just said I loved for the last 10 minutes, but what powers those monsters' blowtorches? So everything else is out of power.
Methane? I don't know.
What? No, not what. Where are they getting
the plasma?
Where are they renewing the power source of their blowtorches?
Oh, who knows?
Sorry, not to immediately show off.
Yeah.
But try and claw it back now. The monsters are fun. It is more of a monster flick than, say, Event Horizon is. Yeah.
It's kind of haunted housey in the fact that your introduction is kind of the same as theirs, which is startling.
Yeah, nobody knows anything.
Your introduction is with Bauer being just like launched out of a tube.
Tubes? You're older than you said you were.
And he's all like wrinkly and shit because he's been in fluid.
See, now, this is the thing that I think this part of the reason why I really like this film is the little details like that. He's all... When he gets out, he has to...
And he's like peeling skin off.
Yeah, he has to peel off skin and...
He's literally like sloughing it off like full pieces. But it's not like a snake shedding his skin. It's not like dry. It's gloopy.
Yeah, and he's...
It's like... It's almost like it's waterlogged. It's really gross. It just really
yeah, oh no, it's nasty looking. And
considering the razor is so sleek and like electronic and doesn't even need to touch his fucking face to burn the hair off.
Oh, I think it is supposed to be as well a bit like a birth, you know? Yeah. You know what I mean? He comes out, he's all wet and gooey, he doesn't know what's going on.
I do like the fact that the status pod thing he's in, the little mechanism on the back, just kind of gently like launches them forward and then drops them on the floor.
Well, it lowers them down a bit before it disconnects them. Because it knows if it lets go when it's... Well, it doesn't know, but yeah, if it lets go when you're standing upright, your legs aren't working
yet. Yeah, you're like a baby giraffe.
Yeah, no, so he comes out of hypersleep and he doesn't know who he is, but he's got this tattoo on his arm.
Yeah.
That
is like later stage 5 or something.
It's FLT-05, so he's the 5th flight crew.
Yeah.
And he sees his name on the tube, and then he goes and he finds a locker with his name on it, and he opens it, and there's a
what
thing
to
inside
do
that says, you experiencing loss from hypersleep. Don't worry, it's perfectly normal. Yeah, I love how they do that, and there's other aspects later on that we'll talk about as we go on that are just like, yeah, that makes sense if they were in hypersleep. Like, you know, when you wake up out of a deep, deep sleep and you have no idea what's going on.
Oh, like when I nap and I wake up and I have no idea where I am, who I am.
Drooling all over your face. And like, what day is it? Where am I? What the fuck is going on?
That time you did that on the bus and woke up back on the keys at 3 o'clock in the morning.
I was like, oh, we haven't moved yet. Wait a second, why am I on the other side of this river? That.
Shit.
But like, you know, exponentially worse.
Yeah.
And yeah, that makes sense. I like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I do like the way that you experienced a complete lack of knowledge with the characters.
Yeah,
pretty much the whole way throughout the film. You never know anything that they don't know.
But nobody knows the full picture. Every character that you come across.
Yeah,
in this, there's not a lot of them. You've got Bauer, once he's kind of all ready and shit like that, and he's like de-gooed and kind of remembers who he is and what he's supposed to be doing. And
little bits anyway, yeah.
He powers up like something that they have, like some little...
No, he doesn't power up anything.
He can't remember how to.
Yeah,
but
Peyton,
he somehow manages to get one of the pods open, or
another one opens itself. Yeah,
Peyton.
In the same way that his was opened itself, another one opens, and that's Peyton.
Who's Dennis Quaid.
Yeah, who seems to kind of come around a little bit quicker.
Also very gooey.
Also quite gooey and not great looking.
It's not an attractive way to emerge.
The two of them have kind of a bit of a chat and try and establish what's going on. They're all like, I don't remember much, but we're on a ship.
Who are you? Who are you?
Yeah, they're...
Who am I?
Very quickly established that Peyton is the senior of the two. He's a lieutenant and Bauer is a corporal, but they kind of established that dynamic very quickly as well.
Well, Peyton's able to power up the workstation thingy.
The little auxiliary with the auxiliary thing.
Like the little crank.
Another little...
Which is awesome!
Yeah, it's another...
Dynamos!
Another little small touch of the film that I love because, again, it makes sense if this...
It only powers up that one workstation, but it allows them to access... maps and stuff like that and limited knowledge.
But as we discover later, this ship is designed to go to another solar system, to another Earth-like planet to try and populate it. So it's on a long voyage. It makes sense that it would have little dynamo jennies around the place to power individual workstations. And it's a cool little thing.
To reserve power and things like that. And then it starts to make sense that they're Flight Crew 5. And they have the conversation then about their rotation, I think.
Yeah, that's...
Is that where you get the fantastic shot of the outside of the ship? And all the...
No, that's pretty much the very start.
The little pods, all the different flight crews are in these little pods, and it's almost like bullets in an old style revolver.
Yeah, it's like a revolver barrel.
And it rotates to up to the deck, the flight deck for the next crew to take over.
Yeah, because
it's just really well done.
One of the things that Peyton says to Bauer is that...
Also, it's smart, because if one of those pods fails, you've still got, however many other flight crews that are safe.
Well, also, you need people to monitor it, and that's one of the things that Peyton says to Bauer, is that he goes, I don't remember what our destination was, but I remember that we had a 2-year rotation.
Yeah.
So we've been in hypersleep for 8 years if we're crew 5.
Yeah.
And they talk about how crew 4 should be there to wake them up, but they aren't.
Yeah.
So they can't figure out where the other people are or what
they
the
also
ship is
can't
without
get
power.
out of the pod thing that they're in.
Well, they can't get out of the room that they're in.
Yeah.
Because he says behind this
locked.
door, he said, Peyton says that, if things are going according to protocol, the chamber should have moved and behind this door should be the bridge.
If not, it's the vacuum of space.
Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, they can't get it because they have no power. They only have the auxiliary power, and Bauer heads out
into the vents
to try and figure out what's going on, because they reckon somebody else woke up earlier. They can see scratch marks on the door.
Yeah, they're not. They're like claw marks on the door.
Yeah. And he heads off into
the auxiliary vents.
The auxiliary vents, right?
To have an adventure.
To have an adventure. He doesn't have a particularly good time.
No, he does. He does take a head first tumble down a tube.
He does, but that's after he has his little panic attack.
Oh yeah, because he's freaking out, because he's trapped.
Yeah, he basically has a panic attack about getting trapped.
He's in a really small
it's a really
vent.
tight space, but I love.
And it's dark and it's creepy, and he's only got the little torch, and it's very much Bishop going through the drain.
Oh, it's
Aliens.
It's very claustrophobic.
That's probably the worst one, but it's that, and he starts to hyperventilate.
I do love how Peyton gets him out of it, though. He's like, I suppose now would be a bad time to tell you that I managed to get the door open. And Bauer's like, you're shitting me. And he's like, yeah, I am. But, it doesn't seem so bad now, does it?
Fuck you, buddy.
But I do like how they establish the dynamic between the two of them very quickly of... Bauer is the junior, but he seems to remember a lot more of the technical aspect. He's the one who recognises that the power shortages and fluctuations they seem to be having are to do with the reactor, and that it's not recycling.
He is an engineer.
Oh, he says, he's an engineer, and Peyton makes a comment about how that's the training kicking in. It's always one of the things you remember quicker or something like that.
Yeah. And I think he was supposed to be a navigator.
Yeah, so he says, look,
that's it. That's why he stayed, and he's like, I'll be able to guide you across the ship and around bulkheads and stuff.
Yeah,
so they play to their own strengths as well.
Yeah, but they set it up very quickly and very naturally, and I do like how it's done.
It would have been shit if it was like the tea girl.
Well, we meet a few characters as we go through, and some of them are they're all from different sections. They all have their tattoos that say
what they are,
where they are. We meet somebody from ecology and somebody from agriculture. And I don't think we know what Leyland's from, but Leyland's psycho, so who cares?
Yeah, Leyland was somewhere.
And you meet...
How did he... Because they talk about all the screening and all the testing and stuff, because Bauer's like, oh, do you not remember your wife? Because in his locker he has a photo of his wife.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, she has to be here somewhere because we were allowed to bring them our spaces with us, and we had to go through all the genetic testing and fertility trials and yada yada yada. So how did Leyland get on?
Oh, well, he wasn't crazy when he got on.
Are you sure?
Yeah, he says Leyland was like, as you find out as you go through the movie that
I'm pretty sure Leyland was always a little bit crazy.
Well, probably, yeah, but different people have been awake for longer, and
yeah.
And Leyland seems to be one of the people who's been awake the longest.
Yeah, well, he does have himself squirreled into a nice little spot there.
And I think that, like, maybe he was a lot younger.
Yeah. But he's crazy.
Oh, yeah, he has his, like, when he's asked how long he's been awake, his answer is, let's see, what day is it? Tuesday, so fuck knows. Or something to that effect.
Leyland is great. It's a shame you only kind of get him
towards the end.
The back third of the film.
I think
of all the characters, yeah, he is very tedious though.
Yeah, I think, well, he's not tedious, but any more of him and he would become tedious very quickly.
Yeah. He does serve a purpose though with his story.
Oh yeah, his little story bit is great when he's got his like
the cave
drawings,
but they're like etched into the metal.
Yeah, the way he tells the story, and it's split between him and a character Gallo that we haven't really discussed yet, and they're both telling the story at the same time
from different perspectives.
Yeah,
and it's really good,
really really well done. Gallo is a character that shows up about halfway through the film, coming out of the same vents.
Yeah.
Terrified, and has a bunch of interactions with Peyton. He's a creepy motherfucker. That's Cam Giganti.
The three movies I know him in are this, Twilight, and Easy A.
I have not seen either of
yeah, and it's three totally like completely different characters, because in Easy A he's a teenager.
Yeah. Well, I know that's set in high school, so I would imagine so.
Yeah, but it was after this.
Oh, was it? Fair enough.
Unbelievable. And then, yeah, obviously Twilight with the bad wig and the sparkly body paint.
Oh, he was a vampire then.
He was the bad guy who nearly killed Bella in the first one. So he's technically
him.
Yeah.
Darn him.
Yeah, he didn't succeed if he'd only bitten that a little bit harder. He ends up getting his head pulled off and set on fire. Spoiler if you've never seen Twilight.
Well, I haven't.
No.
So
do you care?
Thanks for the spoiler, Kira. But yeah, he's a creepy motherfucker in this.
Yeah.
He plays it really well.
He is very good at intense.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think this is the only thing I've seen him in, I think.
Yeah.
But
he also
really
has that weird, like he can do that really fucking weird Norman Bates kind of smile. You know, at the end of Psycho, and he looks up in the George Clooney where they look up under the eyebrows and then smile.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he does that in a really creepy way.
Speaking of Normans.
Yeah.
Norman Reedus is in this film. And then he's not. He's in it for like 5 minutes.
Having a freak out.
Oh yeah, no, the shepherd is the character that he briefly plays. He had worked with the director Christian Albert before and wanted to work with him again. So he was like, hey, come and work with me on this one. And yeah, he's not really a character. He's in it. He's another flight crew member. He's flight crew 6 or 7 or something like that.
Yeah, he's also running around and is like, what the shit?
Yeah, Bauer finds him strung up and rescues him, and
oh yeah, he's caught up by the foot, isn't he?
Yeah, he's only gotten like glances of the monsters that are on the ship at this point, and he gets
it's shadows and like blue lights, and you can hear this weird chittering kind of noise.
I think he's been chased a little bit at that point, or he's run from them. But anyway, he finds Shepard and cuts him down and is like, hey, you're Flight Crew 7, what's going on? And Shepard's like, what, you've just woke up? Oh, fuck you don't know nothing, I'm out of here. And basically bolts, yeah. And then gets taken a couple of minutes later and dies. He's
not the guy he finds in the vents.
No,
that's the one that they know got out.
Yeah. They find him in the vents just as a corpse who has presumably fallen.
He's upside down.
Well, that's when he realizes he falls. So I'd say he also fell and broke his neck.
Yeah, because he's all tangled up in all these cords.
Oh, he has been chased by the monsters because they drag off that guy's corpse.
Yeah.
And then he finds Shepard.
Choosy.
No, they're not choosy.
Because he looked pretty descicated. Like he was dry.
Yeah, no, he looked like he had maybe been there for quite a while.
I wonder if he was teriyaki flavoured.
Like a mummy?
Yeah.
A teriyaki flavoured mummy.
I was going to eat him later.
But yeah, that's Shepard.
Yeah.
And our other characters, the only other ones we haven't mentioned are Nadia and Man. And the other two he comes across.
Nadia's introduction is really fun because she's trying to steal his shoes.
Yeah, she attacks him, holds him at knife point, and then says she wants to steal his shoes, and then legs it.
Yeah. And, like, gone.
Yeah.
And he's still kind of stood there going, right, I have no shoes now. What the fuck is going on? Why do people keep running away from me?
She doesn't get his shoes.
Is it me? Do I smell? Everyone keeps running away from him. Or is dead.
Yeah, and I mean, he understands pretty quickly why. And she's very clearly out for herself for most of the film. And when you get their kind of backstory...
when she leaves, that's when you kind of get a good look at them, because that's when he goes and hides.
Oh, in the overhead locker?
Yeah,
and then
they go
bursts
past.
himself when he falls out of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's basically just out for herself until kind of the last act when he has his "let's work together" speech. That's a bit cheesy.
Yeah, she's an ecologist and she has quite a little secure lab for herself. That's her hidey hole.
Yeah, her little setup is pretty
bank.
sweet. Yeah, that's her backstory, is that she's like gathered a massive database of all Earth seeds.
Yeah, to bring with them to the new world.
And then couldn't face handing it over, so decided to come on the ship.
It was her life's work. Like, she's not going to hand that off to somebody else.
Oh yeah, understandably. And then Man is the more helpful Vietnamese guy who is he agriculture?
I think he's agriculture. He gets a look at his tattoo because there's a language barrier there.
Doesn't stop Man though.
No, Man does beat the absolute shit out of him.
Oh no, I meant the language barrier doesn't stop him from chatting. He is a chatty character.
Yeah.
I love it. There's the bit after they kind of decide to work together and they're walking along and Man is just blabbing away at Bauer, who has no idea what and Bauer's just like, yeah, what do you... She hit me pretty hard too. Like, what do you want me to say?
Yeah. He does knock the shit out of Bauer, though, when they meet.
Yeah, he also... everybody he meets wants to attack him or run away from him. Or eat him.
Yes.
Except for Peyton. Peyton's the only one who wants to help.
Somewhat.
Well, mostly.
Peyton's going through his own shit, because Peyton's...
Yeah, Peyton and Gallo have some issues to work out.
Yeah, Peyton and Gallo are going through some shit back up. Like, so Bauer's gone off on this, like, kind of mission to cross the ship to find out why... the engines apparently are failing. There's power fluctuations, things like that.
I do like...
They've recognised at this point that they're a seeder ship and they obviously have like thousands of lives on board. So this is a mission like priority critical.
Oh yeah, and I do like the way that is the core motivation throughout the film. Because there's a lot of films like this that would kind of say lose it. Even Event Horizon, not that it loses it, but it starts off that Event Horizon is about, oh, this ship has reappeared. And we don't know what's wrong with it. And then they get there and they realise it's a bit screwy and they have to try and figure out what's happened. Then it's, oh fuck, let's try and get off the ship.
Yeah, whereas this is no, there's
within the
weird
first 15
shit going
minutes,
on.
They established the reactor is what we need to do to fix it.
There's other weird shit going on, but if they don't fix the reactor...
none of the rest of it matters.
It doesn't matter. They can deal with that afterwards. The thing that they need to focus on is fixing the fucking reactor.
And it stays the core motivation.
Yeah,
whereas I think
he makes as he's going through his journey and meeting all these different people and repeatedly getting the shit knocked out of him.
Yep.
Peyton is nice and cushy back in his little pod.
Yeah, until Gallo shows up and starts freaking him out.
Yeah.
But... like a lesser film could very easily have kind of forgotten about the reactor and just focused on the threat of the monsters.
Yeah.
But I do like that it's the core the whole way throughout it.
I like the fact that they're both battling monsters, but they're very different monsters.
Yes, because that's the problems that Peyton are having with Gallo is based around the titular disease of the mind.
Well, Bauer is going through like a physical journey and experience, whereas Peyton is very much having a kind of mental battle with Gallo, because it's a lot of verbal sparring and taunting, as opposed to run away.
Because a little while before Gallo shows up, Bauer, when Bauer is in the tubes, he asks him, what do you know about Pandorum? And he goes, oh fuck, of all the things you had to remember, why did it have to be that?
Pandorum, yeah.
And he tells the story of this ship called the Eden. And Pandorum is this made up mental disorder.
Ocean madness!
The deep sea willies. But no, this is the outer space.
It comes in a suppository.
No, this is the outer space willies.
Yes.
Because they faff about for the explanation. Basically, you're in space, you go crazy, and you find a reason to kill the people that you're in space with.
Yeah,
and he thought
it is a reoccurring theme in a lot of sci-fi. You've got it in Sunshine.
Yeah,
when they all go crazy.
Yeah, and it is a genuine worry for.
There's the brilliant bit in The Expanse where the captain goes nuts and he's standing in the soil.
Yeah. Oh no, but it's a genuine worry for NASA about, like, say, Mars missions and stuff like that.
Any long term, because you're in a very small enclosed space, you can't get out.
Yeah, even
it's
just
cabin fever.
Even just the trip there. Never mind the fact that once you get there, you're still stuck with those same people.
This is why I won't go on a cruise.
But I really like the story of the Eden, and particularly how it culminates, because the captain became convinced that the flight was evil and cursed, which is the first, I think, of a couple of Event Horizon nods. Or at least that's what I thought. And he launches all the escape pods with the people, because the escape pods are also the hypersleep pods.
Yeah.
And he launches all of them. But they seem to wake the people up as they launch them, so everybody who is in hypersleep gets woken up just as they're launched out into the blackness of space.
And then the tops of the pods pop off?
No.
Oh, thank fuck they don't, because they...
No, they just have to slowly suffocate.
Lovely.
Yeah, which...
Drifting off into the blackness.
At least if the tops popped off, you'd die pretty quickly. But no, they have whatever oxygen is in that container.
Yeah, you have like 6 hours to freak out.
Yeah, you have a couple of hours of just floating in space and then suffocating.
And you can't communicate with anybody else, so it's not even like you can get in contact with your loved ones. Lovely.
So that's the backstory for Pandorum, and the shot of all the pods being ejected it's a beautiful shot. But Peyton is convinced that maybe this Gallo chap who showed up is perhaps got Pandorum.
A touch of it.
And Gallo is like, maybe you have Pandorum, Mr. Man.
Yeah, and they're all getting lovely and paranoid, and there's weird shit going on and nothing's right, and this is just inciting more hysteria and
because even
desperation.
Even Bauer starts to
get a bit...
Well, Bauer's the one who brings it up in the first place, but he starts to get a bit sweaty and
put her in charge.
No, not like panicky, but just like he seems to exhibit some of the symptoms of Pandorum as the film goes on as well. So you are like, who really has it?
Yeah, are you all crazy? What's going on?
Leyland's definitely crazy.
Leyland's so crazy.
His line, though, I just love it when he has them all. When the three characters start working together, Man, Nadia, and Bauer.
Yeah, they kind of realise it would be for the greater good when they realise... He manages to explain to them that the reactor, once he gets them to stop running away and kicking the shit out of him, that the reactor is failing and they're all dead. So they're like, yeah, okay, we'll help you get there.
Yeah.
We know the ship. We kind of know what's going on and how to navigate these monsteries. And then you get to see the little kid monster, who's the fucking creepiest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, kid monsters are particularly creepy. We had the one in 30 Days a Night a few weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
The kid vampire, but this kid monster is fucking freaky, and it's the director's daughter in costume.
Oh my god, you know that he woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning and she was standing at the end of the bed wearing that.
Oh, and speaking of who is who in costume, the lead kind of the hunter monsters.
Yeah. Oh, the guy with all the big spikes out of his back?
Yeah, and the kind of line down his face.
Yeah.
He is...
Which is so kind of creepy because it actually looks like his face has grown like a ridge and is splitting in two. You know
when you see the original flight crew at the start of the film, he's the senior officer, he's the captain. In that
so you get to see him out of
flashbacks.
Oh, when they get the like message.
The message from Earth.
Yeah.
He's the captain in that scene. Is the main hunter guy.
Yeah, they let him out of costume.
But speaking of the three of them working together, the fight scene they have where the three of them take on one monster and they nearly all get their ass handed to them, but eventually take him down. That's a nice, dirty, raw fight scene, and a little bit like that bit in Shaun of the Dead with the
Don't Stop Me Now.
Yeah.
My favourite song of all time.
Oh, it's a great song.
The fact that it was used in like time to kill a zombie and an old man zombie.
Yeah, this isn't set to any music. It's just a nasty little fight scene, but I quite like it.
There's not really any, apart from atmospheric music.
It's mostly just scored throughout it. Like there's no Zack Snyder all along the Watchtower or anything. We were supposed to be talking about Leyland, or I wanted to talk about Leyland.
Yeah,
when
they
get to him
encounter
then.
Leyland on their journey.
And he's talking about a little bit about how he survived, and he says, you know, he'll cook them some food. And he's like, you know, can't offer you much though. It's pretty tough cooking with a motor oil base. And then he gasses them and strings them up to cook them.
Yeah.
But they do convince him to work along with them as well. But he's like, we watched Predators recently.
Yeah.
Or, well, for the first time I did anyway. And
that's because I told you it was garbage, and I was right.
yes, you were right. Unfortunately, one of the garbage aspects of it is Lawrence Fishburne. And
Leland does everything you want Lawrence Fishburne
to be in Predators.
That,
yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was trying to say.
Yeah. No, it is. Leland is a great character because he is completely crackpot. But then he gives them all perspective by telling them the story as he knows it of what has happened on the ship.
Yeah, what's actually happened. We're not going to tell you.
No, but he helps shed some light on the situation, which then becomes relevant later on, and they kind of discuss theories and stuff about it.
Yeah, I'd say that revelation probably comes at the start of the final act, really.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's where stuff really ramps up as well.
Yeah.
So we probably won't discuss much after that either. I wouldn't think. Because it is, there's a couple of twists that come along the way, and they are some a bit obvious, but some are worked in really well as well, I think.
Yeah. They kind of, the obvious ones that you see coming, you're like, you're expecting it, and you're like, oh, because it's leaning that way. But then it'll also throw you a curveball that you were too busy looking over there.
Yeah. And the way they work it in, even the kind of obvious one, while the reveal itself might be like, yeah, I kind of saw that coming, the details of it that you get are actually quite fun as to what's actually gone on. Yeah,
because they do, I think, eventually get onto the flight deck.
Yeah, towards the very end.
Yeah, they actually managed to get up there.
Eventually. Doesn't do them much good, mind
Poor
you.
old Bauer goes from one end of the fucking ship to the other. That's a big ass ship.
Yeah, and it is. You get a nice scale shot at the start.
And he has to get it's not like A to B. He's got to go like all over the place.
And I don't think elevators or anything are working.
No, he's crawling through shit.
Yeah, and falling.
And falling.
There's a
lot of falling. Poor Bauer.
Ben Foster is really good in this. Because again, I hadn't seen him in much either.
Well, 30 Days a Night, he's the stranger.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed him in that.
And yeah, no, the voice in the stranger, because you didn't really like the stranger's voice.
No, I love the stranger's voice.
But that's just a slight exaggeration of his own voice, because you can hear bits of it.
Yeah, because he spent so much of this film like panicked and or angry or exasperated. You can hear it more.
And he sounds wrecked as well, because it's a long slog of, it's an adrenaline fueled fucking run to the reactor.
Oh yeah,
and then try and get back.
Because he starts off all slimy and then he cleans himself up.
And then shaves.
He shaves and he just gets progressively more dirty and rotten as the film goes on.
But that's the, Cam, when Gallo appears, he's kind of remarkably clean compared to some of the other people that you've seen. Like even Shepard is... Well, Shepard's rubbing grease on himself to hide the smell, because he's like, no, you can't smell clean because they'll sniff you out. And he's covering himself in motor oil. So everybody's grimy and disgusting because they seem to hunt by smell.
Well, it would make sense because the ship is quite dark.
Yeah. But yeah, everyone's covered in
grease
and motor oil and just...
But I think
to try and mask their own smell.
I think the implication is that Gallo is also supposed to have just woken up, but in a different part of the ship,
and has climbed his way through.
Yeah, because he has that I've just woken up goo. He's only in his underpants when he comes through, and he says he's come from the flight deck. That's why Peyton wants to find out so badly what's happened.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's what I took from it. That's why he looks all gooey when he comes through.
I was
so terrified because he's just woken up, and
the way he does come through it is creatures. It's a very panicked, like, oh my god, get me out of here.
Yeah, and he's like screaming for help. So I just, the first time we watched it, I just assumed he had just woken up on the flight deck and there were monsters there.
Or the next pod over.
Yeah, and just dove into the tubes. Because, you wake up and you see those monsters and you run. Unless you're that poor fucker in the hibernation chamber later in the film.
Who just gets like presented.
Yeah.
It's like a really fucked up start of The Lion King.
Yeah, this poor bastard gets woken up out of hypersleep.
He literally gets presented like on Pride Rock. But But he's surrounded
by like tons of these monsters and they're all grabbing at him. And he
Would
just
you
looks
rather wake up like that and get eaten by cannibal mutant things?
Yeah.
Or would you rather wake up and have an alien burst out of your chest? Because
do I know what's going to happen if I have the alien burst out of my chest?
Either. You don't know. You just wake up and...
Well, then I'll go with facehugger, I suppose. Because...
Immediate death?
Well, they're both pretty immediate deaths. Because your man he doesn't last long before the head hunter just stabs him straight through the skull.
He does stab. I forgot about that.
But he gets about 10 or 15 seconds of absolute pants-shitting terror before he gets killed. Whereas the facehugger thing, after it's attacked you, you're just like, hey, my chest hurts, and then you're dead.
But you can hear like all the bones cracking and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it looks equally painful, but it's far less terrifying. And if I have to have a painful and terrifying death, or just a painful death, I'll pick painful.
Okay.
Basically.
Alright.
Oh, that dude in the chamber is Ben Foster's brother.
Ah.
Yeah. For all of the 15 seconds that he's on film before he gets the horrifying death. But yeah, that poor guy. That poor guy gets fucked.
And the worst part about that is that Nadia and Thingy are like, no, we can't, and Man are going, no, we can't save him, we have to go.
Yeah, because I think they accidentally, as they're fleeing, they accidentally hit the button to
like open the
chamber,
pod.
so it's their fault. But yeah, Bauer's not too happy about having to leave him behind.
No.
I wouldn't be. No, I'd like to think that I'd rescue people like that, but no, sorry. See ya.
No, there's like 40 or 50 hunters around it of the hunter monster thingies, which are badass looking. So they're all covered. You don't know if the spikes are like part of them or they've got decorations, these metal protrusions, and their faces are kind of really fucked up.
Yeah, their faces are weird. They've got they've got no hair. They're all white skin. They have
obviously they're in the dark.
Ears and noses.
They're really similar, kind of body wise, to the crawler things in The Descent. Like when you imagine something that exists in the dark, in the gloom, like anything that lives down that far, they all have the massive eyes and the white skin.
Yeah,
like the real pale, like you can see their fucking heartbeat through it kind of skin.
Yeah.
It makes sense for the environment that they're in, but then they have those blue lights.
Do you know, the best way to describe them? The War Boys.
Crossed with the Roswell Grey?
The War Boys crossed with the things from the Descent. Yeah. And you have the monsters.
But with like Roswell Grey eyes. Like they've got quite big eyes. The big black eyes.
Particularly the kids. The kid one has really big, weird eyes. But yeah, no, they're cool looking creatures. They're freaky looking the way they have them move, and there is when you see them and they have their little blue
like they're almost like acid
they're little blow torches, yeah,
like what are the welding ones?
I don't know,
but it's a blue flame on it.
Yeah, and they're whenever you kind of see them coming at the start, you see this blue glow and you just kind of see their outlines, and as the film goes on you get better and better looks at them. But they're pretty kick-ass monsters, and they are pretty fucking hard to kill, as we see in that kind of three-way fight scene.
Which is part of the reason why they have to leave the guy, because there's just too many of them, and it's feeding time.
Yeah, and at that point they've already tried their hardest to kill one and barely managed. What are they going to do against 40 or 50 of them? Fucking nothing. There were a couple of the visual aspects of this film that I really like. We've mentioned like that opening shot of the ship itself.
The ship is also called Elysium, by the way.
Yes, it is. But it is not Elysium.
No.
Not of Greek myth anyway, that's for sure.
But it makes sense because they're going to Tanis, which is this planet that they're going
This garden planet, yeah.
This garden planet that they're going to be populating, and they are the chosen being taken away to this like heavenly place.
Yeah, because at the opening
Elysium is fitting.
Oh, it is, yeah. And at the opening of the film, you get this text up on screen that kind of gives you a little bit of history of spaceflight, and it tells you a little bit about what would happen in the future, about how, you know, resources are dwindling and nations are warring, and then they find this planet on a probe and they decided to send a ship off. So the Earth's kind of fucked, not doing too good. So these are the lucky ones who are getting to go.
It's like last year when all the billionaires suddenly got real interested in flying into space. So what do y'all know?
Let them go to space. They'll fucking die up there.
Off.
They will fucking die up there. But yeah, so they're They are, yeah, they're kind of the chosen ones heading off to Elysium. But that scale shot of the ship at the start is lovely. And I do like how the film starts in incredibly dark and you get a lot more light as you go on in the film. As
more of the story's revealed, you get to see a little bit more of everything else.
And then your flashbacks are in very, very bright, almost jarring light because those...
That's what it fucking reminds me of. Sorry, the flight crew, when they have the initial pan in of the ship, and you can see the glass over the flight deck.
Yeah.
And it's been driving me crazy because I can't think of what it was reminding me of. The fuck Destiny in Universe.
Oh, right.
It's got that same kind of when Thingy finally gets into the flight deck.
Yeah.
Doing his whole sneak, and that's very similar kind of shape to what it's like.
Yeah. But
sorry.
No, you're alright. But the flashbacks are this very bright because obviously when they're having flashbacks, they are remembering things fully. So there's a light is associated with knowledge as you move through the film, and I quite like that little motif that runs throughout it. And then when they get into the big ecology chamber, that just looks cool.
Yeah,
the big seed bank vault thing.
The reactor as well looks really, like, you get this sense of scale when they do these big balcony shots as well. There's one or two of them. The fight when him and Man are running and he jumps out into that kind of fucking Empire Strikes Back void in the middle of the ship.
Oh yeah. Or when he's running through and he nearly falls out of the container.
Yeah.
And he opens the door of a container and it's just literally a shipping container stacked on top of shitloads of other shipping containers. So yeah, you do, as well as seeing that scale shot at the start, you get the impression as you move through, this is a fucking huge ship.
And he's going through quite a different variety of environments as well, because you're going from narrow utility access tunnels to kind of what you would expect on a ship, that kind of atypical corridor, that like industrial style corridor that you kind of see like rubber flooring or the mesh underneath, to the likes of the ecology dome, which is all bright white and very sterile.
Or the hypersleep chamber, which is quite wide and open and this kind of ringed and stepped so that they can get as many pods in there as possible.
Yeah, and can all be monitored. So it does kind of go through a load of different showpieces. Yeah,
and visually it's very pretty, but they all make sense as well. It's not like they're just thrown in so that we can have a fancy shot. Like the hypersleep chamber is laid out in a sensible fashion, as is the ecology chamber. Yeah. And they've worked out, I like that at the end of the film when things eventually work out, because it's not a shitty ending film. We find out that there's quite a few people have survived, and I was like, I wonder, is that enough to support a viable population? And I was surprised to discover that
it's way less than you think.
To restart a population of humans, you need 50 adults, or 50, I can't remember if it's 50 adults or 50 pairs to avoid inbreeding, and as little as 500 to be able to genetically adapt to new environments.
Yeah, well, the smaller group you have, the quicker it would be.
And apparently ideal numbers are somewhere around 2,500 to 5,000 people to completely restart a population with like more or less no problems, like genetically speaking. And I was like, oh, that's actually a lot less than I thought. So these guys have more than enough, because they set out, 16,000 they set out with initially?
I think so, yeah.
Obviously the monsters have thinned out that population somewhat.
Yeah, they've been nomming on
people that wake up and breaking their way into pods and nomming on some other people, and even dragging away desiccated corpses.
To nom on them. And presumably they nom on each other too.
I'd say so.
I don't think they're above it.
If Leyland doesn't have a problem with it, I doubt the monsters on the ship do.
I don't think they're above it, so...
Is there anything in it you didn't like?
It is very dark.
It is perhaps a bit too dark in parts.
That does annoy me, because I do like to enjoy like details of things. Like if you've gone through all that effort to make this as beautiful as it is, why wouldn't you light it correctly?
Yeah.
Like I know it helps give the atmosphere.
Oh yeah. No, I do agree with you. It is too dark.
There is also not the full... like emergency lighting.
Yeah.
Like even just small strip lighting on flooring or something like that, it would be just dim, would just give you a more accurate sense of space.
Yeah.
And would help, especially with where they're trying to make things feel claustrophobic. In the corridors where they're being chased. That would, because you'd be able to get glimpses. You can't really hide. There's no shadows to hide in.
I think for me, most of what I disliked about the film was just silly narrative things. It wasn't like I didn't hate the dialogue. I didn't think there was any really stupid choices or stupid characters. There's just a couple of things like I said at the start about what's fueling the blowtorches.
Yeah.
Or there's a bit where Bauer shoots. There's a monster on the other side of a glass window.
Why did he shoot the glass?
It's when Norman
that
Reedus
really
is getting
fun
killed.
Percussion thing that he finds. It's like the air blaster thing.
Yeah, it's like a concussive force weapon that's supposed to be for riot control, and he points it at this monster.
What were we watching recently where they had... Oh, the Chronicles of Riddick. The thing that they have.
Oh yeah, they've got a force gun, but I reckon that was purely to keep a PG-13 rating, because as soon as one of those is used in Riddick, it blows somebody's head straight off and there's blood everywhere.
Or a Wraith Stunner.
Whereas this, again, it makes sense. You don't really want to be giving people proper firearms on that ship.
Especially if they're gonna go, there's a chance they might go crazy.
Yeah. So again, it makes sense.
Why was there not one medical...
And he has to pair up a little Jenny to get access to them as well.
Yeah. Why was there not one medical officer? Why did none of them try and find a medical officer anywhere?
Well, I mean, anytime he finds a person, he does try and find out who they are and what they do. So if he came across them,
you think there would have been one like in the flight crew just as part of the rotation?
Well, there probably is, but both the guys who got woken up had no control over them getting woken up. Because, at the start...
They didn't even try to wake up the other people, though.
No, but at the very start, Bauer is pounding on Peyton's thing, trying to get him to wake up, and it doesn't work. It's only that the flight computer lets Peyton out as well. Yeah. So they obviously have no control over who they can wake up, because otherwise, you absolutely would make up a medical officer and be like, help, there are monsters. And maybe wake up some people in, like the marine side of things and stuff like, where are the soldiers? Wake up security.
There's got to be somebody here who can do this.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely the right thing to do. They weren't able to do it. But yeah, he takes one of these force gun things and he points it at a monster and fires it. But there's a window in between the two of them.
Yeah, that makes absolutely
why?
No sense to me. I was like, not projectile weapon.
But
and why would you break the barrier between you and them? The guy's clearly just had his head chewed on. There's no saving him.
And then immediately...
Plus, he ran away from you.
Well, and immediately...
So fuck him.
Yeah, fuck that guy. And immediately following that, he legs it and gets caught. He falls and gets caught in one of their traps and drops about 50 or 60 foot with what looks like a bit of wire tied around his foot.
Yeah.
And then he swings in through a container further down and that's where Man finds him. But that's gotta be a severed foot.
Oh god, yeah. It's like, a really thin wire. It's just,
it's a snare. Like it's a wire snare that snares around his foot. He drops about 40 foot and as soon as that catches on his foot, he swings in.
As soon as it went taut, that would have just
severed
popped
foot,
his ankle.
surely.
Yeah. Ripped that foot clean off.
But yeah, it's all...
Or at the very least, dislocated the fuck out of his ankle, his knee and his hip. At the very least, all three of those were going...
Yeah, he should have had more pain there.
Yeah, that would have been torn ligaments, fucking muscle damage, everything. That leg would have just been ripped clean off. But that's... Not ripped clean off, but literally all ripped apart.
Oh, definitely. But that's where
he wasn't going to be running around after that.
That's where he swings into Man, and I can swing not smoothly at all into my next point that I don't like, which is, again, a really small thing. But when they're in the ecology, and Nadia says, "Are you hungry?" And Bauer's like, "Yeah," and she offers him an insect.
Oh yeah, it's a cricket.
It's a cricket, and he eats it. And
Man won't. What?
He offers it to Man.
Filipino.
No, he's Vietnamese, but he's Asian. Asian people are far more likely to eat insects than we are.
It's part of Asian and African street food.
Yeah, you get like candied grasshoppers and shit like that. And yeah. Like when we were in New Zealand, there was all those stalls that had
candied
and stuff like that.
Cricket is quite nice.Ey're crunchy.
Well, we're all going to be fucking eating them in the future, to be honest with you. Anyway,
they're incredibly nutritious. Fuck it.
But yeah, he offers one to Man, and Man kind of makes this face, and I was like, no.
No, he would have been the first one to eat that. Yeah. He would have been like, oh yeah, cool.
In fairness, Ben Foster insisted on it being live insects.
Yeah. Well, if you're going to eat it.
He wouldn't eat dead ones or go for VFX. He was like, no, just get me some live ones. I'll eat on them. But they were all the small, silly things that I didn't like. Yeah, they taste
good. Fuck that.
Yeah, no, that one probably more than anything else annoyed me, the severed foot or shooting the window or the blowtorches. I was like, no, the Asian dude would probably totally eat bugs. Maybe he's full.
Nah.
Maybe he's just like, no thanks, I'm full. But yeah, no, it was all just small, silly things that I don't like.
Yeah, no, it is. It's a really good film.
Yeah, no, it is. I really, really enjoyed it. I'm a little bit annoyed that I didn't go and see it in the cinema when I had the chance.
Yeah, I think that there was just too much stuff out, because that was also, we did go to see Inglourious Bastards that year and we're like, disappoint.
Oh, we went to see loads that year because I worked in the cinema.
And I think it was just like, ugh, no, a lot of things had been very disappointing. Like Avatar was shite.
Avatar wasn't shite. It just was nowhere near as good as the hype.
Also,
Avatar was just
I'm long-sighted, so 3D glasses make me want to fucking puke, which does not help.
No, Avatar was that action sci-fi Hollywood fare that was really popular in the early to mid 2000s, and it came in 2009 with some flashy new technology, and there was nothing special about it to me anyway.
Yeah, but they I think we'd gone to see that and Inglourious Bastards, and a few other things, and we're like, no.
Yeah, so somebody else told me it was shite. I was like, I may as well avoid it, but I should not have. And if you haven't seen it, neither should you. Give it a chance. Definitely give it a chance. And especially if you've listened to our other podcasts and watched or gone and watched on our recommendation other films we've covered, you'll like this one too.
Yeah, no, it is, if you like kind of weird psychological but also actiony.
Yeah, there's enough psychological stuff going on here. There's enough horror. I think there's enough hard sci-fi stuff going on with like the hypersleep and how the ship is laid out and how the ship works.
All the kind of greater world going on outside it.
Yeah, there's a lot of... I think there's something for everybody.
Yeah, and it doesn't get too kind of heavy into any one section. Like, it is paced really, really nicely. That it hops between them. So you're always left in this slight state of, what?
Yeah, it definitely doesn't drag.
It doesn't drag, and it doesn't give you massive exposition dumps or anything like that. You learn as the character is learning as he's going along. But it's all pieces. And you never seem to get anything that makes it all make sense.
Well, until the very end of the film.
Yeah.
But if it didn't give it to you then, that would be a major disappointment, because you'd be like, what the fuck? That the film explained nothing. But it does. No, the way it wraps up really nicely. Yeah.
That's why I was surprised that it was like the first one of a trilogy, because I was like,
Yeah, there's no
obvious like cliffhanger or opening for...
Not to be the same film or the same style of film anyway. It's like the same thing we think about District 9. You could make a sequel to District 9,
but it would have to be different
based on how the story finished, but it would be a completely different film. It wouldn't be this tight sci-fi allegory for apartheid.
Yeah.
It would be a completely different film where likely the alien race return to fuck up humans who have been horrible to their people. And that would be a completely different film. If you made a follow-on for this, it would have to be about... I've already said it ends happily. So some people survive and they reach the planet they're supposed to reach.
Yeah.
And it can only be about them on that planet.
Yeah.
And that wouldn't be a sci-fi horror film the same way that this was. So, yeah, I don't see how it would work as a trilogy.
Yeah. Unless
I'd watch it.
Unless there was some horrible dinosaurs. Oh, God, please let there be dinosaurs.
Yeah, I suppose maybe they could go a bit of a Riddick route in it, in that, oh yeah, we survived all the shit that happened on the ship. And now we get onto the planet and there's some other horrible monsters on the planet too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean...
Who knows?
Yeah, it might happen. It might happen, and if it does, I'll watch it. But until then, we will be covering some other spooky-ish... I mean, this was a sci-fi horror and it's Halloween. But fuck you, it's our podcast and we'll cover sci-fi horror if we want.
Yeah.
Because there's more sci-fi horror.
It doesn't have to be Halloween.
There's more sci-fi horror coming next. Yeah, in fairness, all the other films we've covered...
Most of our films horror.
No, I look back at it. They're not all horror, but in every single one of our films... Sorry, all of our films, bar 2, people die on screen. And normally quite a lot of people.
Even in the comedies.
Yeah. The only ones where they don't die on screen... was Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, where there is probably a couple of implied deaths, certainly for George Nelson, because he's getting brought off to the chair.
And at the end with the flood.
With the flood, yeah, they probably died.
Yeah. And
good old Big Dan Teague gets that flaming cross on his head.
Yeah.
Probably didn't survive that.
No.
But you don't see any deaths. And then the only other one that doesn't have any deaths in it is Extraordinary, but it does... Oh no, sorry, it does have a death in it. Claudia gets her throat slit. I was going to say the only death-ish thing is what's-his-face getting dragged off to hell alive.
No, Claudia.
But Claudia gets her throat slit.
Claudia deserves it for
being... she absolutely does, for being horrible to retail workers.
Yeah. It's a delivery guy.
So yeah, every film bar Oh Brother, Where Art Thou has on-screen deaths that we've covered. And this film is no exception.
Nope.
But yeah, so we'll be back next week with some more spooky, sci-fi, horror-ish, whatever the fuck we want to cover for Halloween films.
Yeah.
And we might even have a guest.
Ooh.
That could be the scariest part, in fairness. Yeah. But until then, guys, if you want, you can head back and listen to our other podcasts, or other episodes. And you can check out our other podcast on Amazon's superhero TV show, The Boys, if you love it like we do. And if you want to come and chat with us, you can find us on Twitter at rantsmono, on Instagram at monorants_the_boys, or you can send your own rants to monorantspodcast@gmail.com. And we'll see you all next week. Bye-bye.
We are Science Fiction Remnant.
This is the Funny Science Fiction Podcast.
We are the Caribbean Science Fiction Network.
We are Monorants.
We are One Accord Level 2 Podcast.
This is Jesse from Sudden But Inevitable and Open Pike Night.
This is sci-fi.